Hi, it's John. I'd like to talk about lack and exploring what it feels like to live in gratitude for what you have or what little you have, or what little you think you have. I follow a YouTuber. Him and his family are amazing. Macabre Carpet. I'll put the link in the description. Yesterday's song, "Sail Across the Universe," was dedicated to him and his family. And what I find super inspiring about him is, and his family, that they kind of up sticks and they sold their house and they just moved into a camper van and have been touring around the US and Canada. And I think it could have been close to a year and a half or 2 years ago I started following him. And what I love was this kind of freedom, like this breaking free of the kind of slavery that we put ourselves in, like mortgages and bills and property and material things that don't make us happy. It's just more doesn't make us happy. And so we bought a caravan, like a trailer. We kind of swapped that out for another one. It was a better layout, and we started doing some adventures at weekends, and we realized that this is amazing fun. Like, you can just exploring even literally where you are, like the streets next to you, the towns next to you, the towns that are, a mile away, 10 miles away, 100 miles away, and seeing like ancient sacred sites and just exploring and meeting people, playing music in all these places. It's amazing. And it's right next to you if you just take time and spend time with it. And this, what really surprised me was when we rented a motorhome, or you call it an RV, has an engine so you can drive it around. We rented one, and we found that it was so easy. You just like drive up to somewhere and stop, and then you can just use its facilities. It's electricity, it's you can connect up internet and all these things, water and heating that you want. And that, on our first night, there was a flood in the campsite. That's a very long story. It's a story by itself. But we got evacuated from the campsite at about 3 a.m. in the morning, and we drove through a river. The river must have been at least a meter deep, and because it was coming in the door as we drove up through the road, this river was flowing down through the road. The road had become a river. And so that night we sat in a car park, in a supermarket car park with many other people from the campsite. And when I kind of woke up when dawn came around 6 a.m., I just had this feeling of kind of panic. I was like, oh wow, what am I going to do? I've got my family, I've got my dog here. We don't have a lot of water left. We don't have much food. And then I kind of felt this wave of gratitude, which was, but look what we do have. We're in, we have money. Like, if we need to buy something, we can. We have a beautiful country that we live in, surrounded by amazing people. It's a super safe place to live. We have this huge vehicle we're in for the week, and it was just the start of the week. And it has gas and electricity, and actually there's nothing we're going to do without. And the most important things are right next to us, are my wife and my kids. And so we actually ended up going to another side of the car park, and someone else came up to us and said, there's this absolutely beautiful campsite, because they're all starting to fill up because of this flood. All the other campsites around were filling up. And so he came up to us and said, you should go to this other site. It's stunning. So we went there, and it was just beautiful. It was empty, which was lovely. It was just this beautiful rural campsite down by the sea, in north of England. And so we spent 3 days there, and it was just beautiful. I recorded songs. There was like an ancient Roman site, a Roman baths that was there, and that was amazing to go and visit and meditate in. And so from all these kind of apparent lack, like we planned to go to this campsite originally and rent this motorhome, and then our plans are completely changed because of this flood. And all these beautiful things happened as a result. And all that time we had such love, surrounded by each other's love, surrounded by our our beautiful motorhome that we rented. And so when we came back, we decided to buy. In fact, we bought the same model about the same age of motorhome. And now I kind of look at this house we have and I think, wow, it's super beautiful and I'm super grateful. But what I really love is spending time with my family and going on adventures and writing music and sharing love. Like, they're super important to me. And so, yeah, look for more songs coming from motorhomes and out in nature. I've been setting up a studio to be able to, go and play in like woods and down by the sea and wherever I go. So that's been super fun. So yeah, I'd love to hear your stories about gratitude. Thank you so much for watching mine. Sending my love from Scotland.